Welcome to the Go Flush Yourself podcast with Jared Kirk and Matt Millbauer.
There it goes.
All right. Welcome to an episode of the Go Flush Yourself podcast with Matt Millbauer and Jared Kirk. We're here to just talk about some things. We're getting really close to the hunting season's here opening up. We're here in late August. So, Jared, let's start off. You have bones. You're hoping to get them a little bit this season. How's it going so far? What have you been working on with them?
It's going good. We did some little bit of bird training. I was able to find some frozen quail.
Did your plea last or a couple weeks ago end up working out for you?
It actually didn't. I got it actually from a guy from work. Actually,
awesome.
Somehow it was, and I don't even know how he found it. But he orders things. He's out of farm, and I'm assuming he has some sort of large reptile. Anyways.
Okay. Okay.
He said, because I asked him, because he had ducks previous, and I was like, hey man, do you know anybody, because he lives out in the farm kind of area. I'm like, do you know anybody that has quail or chuckers or anything really? And he was like, no. And he was like, I order some stuff from this place called, I think it's rodentpro.com.
Oh.
And they have frozen quail. And
this is like for snakes and
and they have different sizes. They have you can get small, medium, and large basically, and they're by weight and stuff like that. And so I ordered it was like $20 I think for 5 quail, and they're medium. I don't know what kind of quail they are, in all honesty. I think it starts with a C or something like that. I'm assuming it's some sort of domesticated quail. Anyway, I just wanted something to give Bones, at least instead of chewing on that, those Doken dead fowls, which has been fantastic. But I wanted an actual real bird. And he took to it pretty well. There was a little bit of apprehension at first because he didn't know what it was. And then once he figured out, holy shit, it's a bird. Then he was all about it. And then actually
so he did exactly like what every dog I've ever had has done, which is when I saw the video, he walked up and was kind of trying to pick it. I want to pick this up, but I'm really not sure how. And he kind of picked it up, but I think the end of the wing or the end of the tail or something. He was trying to kind of pull it to you.
Yeah.
But no, he ended up picking and bringing it to you in that first try. It looked like that was awesome.
No, it's going good. And then we've ran into some wild birds now, mostly quail.
Good.
Checked out a couple chucker spots, and just wasn't where I'd seen chuckers in the past, but I don't know if I'm just in the wrong spot or whatever. But didn't find any. But anyways, it's fun watching him get into quail. He's starting to figure it out and stuff like that. And it's now any bird he sees now, he gets you can I'm starting to start reading him a little better. His tail always moves. It doesn't stop. But when I think he's onto something, it seems like his tail goes a lot faster. And he starts kind of leaping into stuff and getting into it a little better. But he's getting into some wild birds. Here and there, I'm going to try and take him out to another spot where we hunt, maybe the next week or so.
Cool.
Check it out. If nothing else, just check it out. But the important thing is, I believe I got a gun broke.
Excellent.
I went out today, and then we did the 22 thing, from a little farther away, just like last time I did it, and got right over the top of them. Didn't bother him. Then did the 410 again, started a little farther away, working our way in closer, and then finally went to a 12 gauge. And he just didn't care. I didn't get a video of it. I wanted to, but I was paying more attention to him, just reading him, seeing how he was doing. I didn't want to see him flinching or anything like that. And he didn't care. The gun would go off next to him, and he didn't care. It didn't bother him. He had a job to do, go get the bird and come bring it back. So,
he's focused on that. That's great.
Cautiously optimistic is how he's doing. He's doing pretty good right now. So, he's a little bigger too. I got him up to he's about 18 pounds now. I did end up switching food.
Nice. You did.
I did. I started using his stuff. Honestly, it worked out because I ran out of his food and I didn't realize it. And so I just used, and I've been kind of feeding him my other dog's food, which is a Costco brand one. Probably going to end up switching again just because I don't like this one as much. It works for my other dog, but he's also a lot bigger. But No, Bones is doing good. No
Sounds
real
like it.
no real issues with him right now. He's he's doing Bone
That's
stuff,
awesome.
getting into stuff. So
So when does he like recognize songbirds when they fly over and like watch them?
he does watch them.
He doing that? Yeah.
He's watching
love that.
birds. And then it's leaves, anything that moves. If there's something that moves, he's gonna go after it. That's kind of his thing.
Good.
A lot of leaves flying around. But yeah, he will chase songbirds. And he watches them when they're flying overhead and stuff like that. So it's this should be an interesting season. We'll see how it goes.
No, I'm excited, and
Yeah,
you're cautiously optimistic. That's a good place to be as his owner, but as an onlooker, I'm very optimistic and very excited to see him in his puppy season. At least get out and explore some different terrains during hunting season, and see the other dogs. Maybe flush some birds and get it, and he can get in there and help where he can. And we'll see how it goes. But I think I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
So speaking of watching birds, my Sophie, my older Springer, I've never taken. I used to take a lab dove hunting. So dove hunting for us in Washington opens up September 1. I think it runs now for 2 months. It used to be 1 month.
Yeah, I think it's end of October.
I think it's end of October, and it used to be end of September, and now it's end of October. So it's open for a while. Most people, I think, just go opening day. Me being in that group, I think, for the most part. Every once in a while, I might make it out another time. Jared, you might go out a few more times. Most dove hunting here is done sitting and waiting and maybe decoying. I've flushed them though during like pheasant opener and quail seasons and stuff. And then Jared, I think you have to, and kind of get a random dove flush and try to get them that way too, but never purposefully, at least for me. But I was in my backyard, and my dogs we have ducks that circle. There's a canal behind my house, and there's lots of ducks on it, lots of mallards. They have lots of babies in the spring and summer, and then there's lots of ducks out there in the fall before they drain the ditch, and at the end of the season in like late October. So there's ducks kind of circle and fly over me and my neighbor's yards and land back in the canal. So the dogs are always like watching them and running across the yard after them as they fly over when they're in the backyard. Lately, though, I was in the backyard, and I've seen a lot more doves lately, which is great. Maybe the migration's starting to come through or something, but I'm seeing a lot more than normal, which is pretty cool. But my older Springer, Sophie, whenever she sees doves, she just sits and stares at them and watches them, like with excitement, just a lot of interest. And like I said before, I got her when she was 2 years old. So and she definitely had some training because a lot of it's there. I say kennel, she goes in her kennel. I say here, she comes here. Like a lot of that's there and built in. And so I don't need to wonder if we need to text her previous owner and ask like about that. But she wants to sit and just watch these doves. And my other Springer, I don't know if she's gonna sit and watch doves. Like almost rude to take her out dove hunting because I'd have to tie her up or something. I'd have to put her on a line because she would be wanting to upland hunt, right? And it'd be a long day for her, especially in what's probably going to be the heat. But if it's not too hot, I'm thinking about taking the older Springer Sophie and see if she will sit and hang out and maybe retrieve some birds. That'd be fun for her. I rarely take her out on her own. I take Bridge out on her own a lot, but it might be able to do that with her and see what she does. So we'll see. Opening day, I don't know. It's a little crazy here. That's almost like a tactical situation where you're out in the field and trying just to avoid other hunters. But maybe later in the season, I'll take her back out before quail opens, and that opens in early October, and see if she likes it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. This year is going to be so last September I was in Arizona.
Right.
And
that's right.
That's a little different than here when it comes to dove hunting.
Yep.
A little different. Dove in Arizona is completely different than dove in Washington. But before, when I was in Washington, I did a lot of like, for lack of a better term, jump shooting doves.
Okay.
That's
in Arizona?
No, in Washington.
In Washington, yeah. Okay.
In Arizona, it's usually just sitting around tanks. And we jump shoot them a little bit, but it's usually, just walk around. But there's 30-1 doves, in Arizona than there is to here.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many more doves in Arizona. But in Washington, before I left Arizona, like I said, I'd jump shoot doves. Just go to some general places and stuff there. They'd fly around and you just kind of walk around and you see a dove or two or whatever like that. Like it was never a big hunt, like bag limit wise. I'd get maybe 3, maybe 4.
Okay, yeah, that's about right.
But on a jump shoot, but it was more just getting out. It was honestly more, I think, just more of a I need to get out and go, take a walk with a shotgun, and that was what was open, so that's what I was gonna do. I'm debating on what I'm gonna do this year for the opener. I'm probably gonna go out. Bones is probably gonna come with me, and we're probably gonna go try to jump shoot some doves. I think if nothing else, it's just gonna be a puppy walk with a shotgun, and
it'll be like a mini upland hunt, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of. We'll go because it is like you said, it gets pretty warm here, so I don't know if we're gonna do that. At least do that for a week or two until grouse season opens, which is the 15th here. And then I'll try to go after grouse for a little bit. Check out some, again, just a puppy walk with a shotgun type thing. At least till quail and stuff like that open. But if nothing else, they're good scouting trips. Check out some new areas, stuff like that, and sometimes you get an opportunity at a dove, but you get to see a bunch of new areas and stuff like that, which is kind of cool too. So
what'll probably happen is they'll flush a bunch of quail.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be season, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like that's usually how that works. But I think that'll be a good experience, or that's actually probably a good idea to utilize dove like that. And if you walk through, if you find the right habitat, like if you find a strip of sagebrush that's near somewhere where they're going to be eating or roosting, to buy some water, like
I've got some
can
spots,
flush some out of that sagebrush.
I've got some good spots. I've got some decent spots. I'm pretty sure you know exactly the spots that I go.
I'm thinking of a couple that you might want to go to. Yeah, you're probably thinking of the same.
What it might be, if nothing else, at least when the season goes, we can at least get our dogs together and just go for a.
That's true. We've done some dove walks.
Dove walks.
I like this idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I have a youth hunt that same weekend that grouse opens with my nephew. Neither of my kids hunt, for the listener's sake, but my nephew's interested and wanted to go out pheasant hunting this year. He's hunted, I think, deer with his uncle on his mom's side, and this year he's been shooting clay pigeons, I think, somewhere with his grandpa or someone, and he's really wanting to go pheasant hunting. So I'm taking him this year on opener. So like, you at least get on the ground. I'm gonna take just bridge, I think, because there'll probably be a lot of people out and be easier. Just if I'm watching him on his first upland hunt, trying to make sure he's safe, and also just watching one dog. So
a lot easier,
probably take bridge and to see how that goes. But Washington State plants, if you go to other places, they plant pheasants for those youth hunts. So hopefully we can at least get him a shot at a bird, and pretty sure we'll be able to. And he has a good time. But maybe another upland hunter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or at least someone that gets a Springer or a Flusher at least.
Yeah, maybe he'll enjoy hunting behind that Springer so much that in his
there
future.
You
go. Well, I know last week we talked to Will, and he talked about his Doodles. He and his family have a Doodle. I don't think it's one you would take hunting, but they do have I think it's a Labradoodle. I think it's a little more poodle than lab, looking at it, but however that works out in the
genetics,
in the Doodle genetics.
Yeah,
I know. There's actually a lot of, like, if you, I don't know if you've ever gotten on the rabbit hole here, maybe you haven't, but around Doodles,
I have,
like Labradoodles and golden Doodles. Yeah, they like the way they look. It's so, because it's so. Okay, how do I describe this? Usually, and we haven't had a lot of new kids. Maybe the right answer is to think of the Boykin Spaniel, right? So they brought in, like Chessies and Cockers and maybe Springers. I can't remember all the different breeds they brought in to kind of make the Boykin. But then they try to like solidify. It takes decades, but to solidify the Boykin's like, all right, stud book's closed, no more new breeds.
Yeah,
this is now Boykin. Only breed Boykins to Boykins, and then you get that AKC join in, and that kind of thing. Yeah. So that's kind of generally how that works when a new breed comes around.
Right.
But I don't know if the Doodles will ever do that, because they have all these things around. How far back the generations go. Like this one, his parents was a lab and a poodle. Like I think it's called F1, right? And then in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, cool. Don't breed that in again. Like now find another lab and doodle like F1 and breed those two together. And then maybe if you see the lab characteristics dropping out or the coat from the poodle dropping out, like bring something in there and balance it out until you get a stable breed. But it seems like the culture around that, I'm not sure if it was the marketing or what, like people want to keep going back and getting that original cross. Like that was the best. And maybe there's something to it, but I feel like someone could take a I mean, obviously Will mentioned how he got his doodles to hunting caliber, but I think if you did it right, you could get like a continuous line of doodles that could be great hunters and have the characteristics that people like from the doodle, which is like hypoallergenic and supposed to be a good family dog. But I don't know.
You could go like cockerdoodles. Cockerdoodles.
It's like cockadoo. Yeah. Cockerdoodles. I know I've heard of this. What's this? Sprocker, the Springer Cocker Cross, which is
Sprockets.
Yeah, Sprocket, because that was like a medium sized. Like I don't know. There's such a similar breed that well, it's kind of weird. Yeah, okay. So what else were we talking about, Jared? There's something I think we want to talk about. Guns. Recently, I bought like I mentioned earlier, podcast, a new shotgun. You and I are always talking about shotguns out there, and maybe what's our dream gun? Like if we could have one gun, or money wasn't an option, which gun would you want to buy? I'm not sure. Do you want to start with maybe your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think a lot of guys on like that probably listen here or listen to most of the Upland Bird, Upland centric podcasts that probably have at least a half a dozen built on Upland Gun Company's website.
Right, yeah, because you have the customizer on there.
You have the customizer on there. I have a few on there. Just looking and stuff like that. I mean, primarily I'm a pump gun guy. So it's always going to be like the Wingmaster. But then also like.
Oh, okay. So wait, so your dream gun would be a pump?
I don't know. So that's the thing.
I'm not judging. I'm just asking.
It's fine to judge. I get it.
No, I'm not judging.
So there's because like I have, I've had a Wingmaster in the past. I don't have one now, but I had one in the past.
Yep.
But I also like kind of dig like the older guns. Like I have a Remington 31, lightweight, in 12 gauge. I have one of those. And then I mean I'd like to try an Ithaca 37, just because.
Okay, yeah.
Same thing with the Winchester Model 12, just because I like those older guns. I'd like to try some of those. But then I've also never shot. I don't think I've ever shot an over and under.
You ever shot one?
I don't think I've even shot one.
Yeah, you need to shoot one of mine.
Exactly. So I mean, like right now, the one that's I guess I continually keep building on Upland Gun Company is an over and under, 16 gauge, 29-inch barrels, and then it's going to be straight stock, double triggers. That's kind of one. I don't know. Double triggers are just kind of my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I've always kind of liked them. So I mean, yeah. So it's just kind of a weird. I guess I don't know. Just a very strange shotgun. 16 gauge over and under double triggers, straight grip stock.
It seems very you don't like conventional things usually, Jared. I mean, you shoot 870, that's like as conventional as it gets. But like I'm saying, like when you want looking at dog breeds, you're always looking for something a little different. So when I heard the 29-inch, I'm like, I know why you picked 29-inch because it's not 28 and it's not 30.
Exactly. It's just,
you can't buy that off the shelf.
Exactly. It's just weird enough. Right. So yeah, I'd like one of those. Barring that, I'm probably going to end up getting. The other one, honestly, is I'd like to get a CZ Bob White, side by side.
Okay, I was going to bring this up. Yes.
Yeah,
I want one too.
I think
which gauge?
So I'm kind of torn.
Okay, I am too, but I think I know where I'm leaning.
The practicality part of it is 12 gauge.
Okay.
12 gauge because I have a whole bunch of 12 gauge. I like the 12 gauge. But I also do have a 20 gauge, and I have a lot of 20 gauge, and a Bob White and 20 gauge would be kind of cool. But then there's also the 28 gauge, and that's one I have and I kind of want to mess with a 28 gauge. So I'm kind of I have conflicting things. Practicality might win out and might just go 12 gauge. But it's too early to tell right now. But most likely the CZ is probably going to be my next one.
So that in the Bob White?
I think so, possibly an over and under, but like right now the Bob Whites, there's just something about the side by side double trigger straight grip that's just cool.
So I've been looking at that gun too, and I have an ongoing like wish list of shotguns that I track, and my notes app on my phone, okay, sure. And I link them to like Sports Warehouse or Cabela's or like the manufacturer site or wherever, just so like I can click on it and go check it out and drool on it and then move on with my life. But I recently added the Bob White, which is like Jared said, a 20 gauge double trigger, or 20 gauge, but it's a side by side double trigger straight grip gun from CZ. And yeah, I think I'm on the 28 is where I'd go with that. Because I think it's because I'm an over-under guy for the most part, and I want a narrower sight plane. Okay. I want narrow barrels. I think that's like I'm subconsciously picking that. Sure. I also just want a 28 gauge. But then for me, practicality, I'm thinking I'll probably end up being a 20. I already have 20 gauges. So I already have a cache of shells, and so that would make sense to get the smaller gauge there, to me at least. I hadn't thought about 12. I think they make it in 16 as well, right?
I don't know. I think they have. I don't know if they currently make it in 16.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I know they have a bunch of gauges. I thought, is it in 410?
I don't think 410. I think it's a different one.
Oh, okay. Anyhow, but I was thinking 28 for that, but maybe 20. So, but yeah, definitely, I think that gun would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, they also have. Have you seen the Bob White or the Bob White all terrain?
Yes.
The Cerakoted green one.
Yep.
That one also kind of speaks to me.
So I have not been interested in those at all. Because I never really looked at them. I was always like, I just want blue/black barrels. Sure. I don't need the green Cerakote, even if it's like better in every other way when it comes to at least making it a little tougher. And recently I was texting my brother-in-law. We're working together on a chapter here, and we're texting about something. Or he was sending me pictures to use on our social media for our new chapter. And I saw he had an overrunner. I'm like, what? I couldn't figure out what it was. I always thought he had his Winchester, his SX4s at their autoloader. Yeah. So he has one of those. I always said that was the gun he always used. I'm like, I see this overrunner popping up on your pictures. What is that? And it was like, he's like, oh, I got it like off a buddy for like a couple $100 or something. I forgot what he said, but it was like a Remington overrunner. I'm not even sure what model it is. I don't think he even knows what model it is. But he's like, it's not great.
Fearless?
Maybe. I'll sure. I was kind of Googling around, but I didn't Google that much. But then he was like, what I really want is a CZ. I forget. I think he said Drake. I can't remember which one he wanted. One of the overrunners in the all-terrain or the Cerakoted one. And I'm like, oh. And he sent me a link. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this would actually be pretty cool, like to go that way. And I really just hadn't thought of it in the past, but it's kind of got me thinking about that for maybe my next gun is getting the maybe that's what the Bob White side by side needs to be.
Yeah. Well, they make an ultra in the all terrain.
You make a what?
An ultralight. So it's it's like 6.5 pounds in a 12 gauge, or 6 pound gauge, and they also
got me thinking.
Yeah, and they also make the standard one, which I think is like yours, except it's green Cerakote, and the stock and stuff like that. But I think they all come with like sling swivels already.
Yeah, they do.
And then with the Bob White, and I think the Bob White with this green Cerakote and the wood stock is just weird enough. You know, it's just weird enough.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure. Yeah. No, there's something to it, and like I got the urge recently to like I probably won't follow through with this, but I was talking to my brother who used to be a pretty avid waterfowl up and waterfowl hunter, but also hunts upland a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he would go when he was younger. He would be Dr. Goose hunting like every weekend and have some success. And I'd go maybe once or twice a year. And lately, he's only been upland hunting when it comes to birds.
Mm-hmm.
And we've discussed. He's like, I've kind of lost all interest in duck and goose hunting. I want to be able to move around and walk with my dogs and let the dogs work. And like, all right, no, I'm with you. We're in the same part of our lives in this.
Right.
And recently, I'm like, what we should do is like one time a year we go on a duck hunt and we just go all out. We wake up at 1 a.m. or whatever. You have to wake up to beat everyone else to the spot to get the right blind, and we just go all out.
Mm-hmm.
And just have. He's like, yeah, we go once. We're not going to shoot anything, and we're going to be in the wrong spot because we don't know where that is. And I'm like, no, it'll be fun. Let's be like, let's go crazy one day. Even if we get nothing, it'll be fun. He was not too keen on it, which I was kind of surprised. But he's like, I just want upland hunt. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not against that either. But it got me thinking. I mentioned last week with Will, and he had the similar issues where pumps and semi-autos just never worked for me, and it's probably my fault. But taking an over and under in the duck blind is not always simple. Like breaking them open if you're in a tight space is not always easy, although it's usually doable.
Mm-hmm.
Then you worry about the elements, right? My original over under is blued, and blue is wearing off in some places, and so you worry about rust and all these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you go with the all-terrain route with CZ,
mm-hmm.
like that might be a gun you could take duck hunting and do those things. And just have to break it open, but usually you can get around it.
True.
Maybe maybe I need one of those just in case I do find myself in a waterfowling situation.
I think the all-terrains, if I remember right, have like a magnet in the
yes.
So it doesn't. So you can like put the shells in.
You can go like this with your gun, and the shells.
Yes.
Don't.
So I mean that's
yeah.
But then on the flip side, you could always go Browning Centauri synthetic.
Okay, that's another great option. Yeah, in 12 gauge, that would be that'd be a fun waterfowling gun. And I think I told you that before, Jared. That really, what one should do, taking the aesthetics and any other emotions you have out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should just buy that gun. Unless it severely does not fit them.
Yeah.
Like you should just buy the Browning Centauri synthetic.
Yeah, I mean that's the one I would like to get I would like to get a Centauri, just because I think or I mean honestly, like even a Beretta 686
Silver Pigeon.
Yeah, one of the, I mean like I think everyone kind of like maybe not goes that way, but like I think those are kind of like the two like pinnacle like over and under shotguns, but pretty close to pinnacle over and under shotguns.
I mean, you could go way out and spend tens of thousands of dollars and go crazy with that. But when it comes to just hunting with the gun, like I think that's all you need. They're still expensive guns. They're not cheap, but they're much cheaper than other offerings from Beretta and Kragoff and some of those.
Yeah,
but I don't know if there's a Beretta Silver Pigeon in synthetic. Is there?
I don't think there is.
Because like I would prefer a Satori that's not synthetic.
Right.
But like I feel like I've been kind of eyeing the CXS, but I feel like if you just bought the synthetic, there's no worries. Like, nope, you're not gonna have any problems. Take it in the duck blind, take it where you want. It's fine. It's raining today. Last year it was raining and it was kind of raining off and on, and it looked like it might be raining harder during the hunt. And I was out with my father-in-law, and I brought my synthetic autoloader, and I brought the overshoot, which was my CZ Woodcock 20 gauge. And I grabbed, I'm like, well, it's raining. Like I had to put rain gear on. I asked him, like, are you sure you still want to go hunting today? He's like, yeah, let's do it. Like, all right. And so I grabbed the autoloader, and I'm walking away from the truck, and I look at it, I'm like, I'm just gonna clean the hell out of that overrunner when I'm done. And I put it back. I was trying to load it, and like I couldn't get it to shut, and I'm like, this is stupid. I'm done.
Just go with what you know.
Where's my overrender? I know what's gonna happen. This is gonna be an issue. And it was very wet, and I just decided I'm not gonna worry about it. And everything ended up being fine. Because those CZs are blacked, not blued, so they're
pretty
a little more durable. Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so dream gun. So where do you land on a dream gun? Right now, I said you have to pick one, and price isn't an option. They're given to you for free. What do you take? And you can't be like, I'm going to sell it later because this one costs $50,000. Like, this is the gun you're going to hunt with.
wow. I think like, that's a tough one.
And no sentimental, no like, well, this one because it was my dad's or something. None of that.
Right. Like, I get it. Like any new gun.
It's a new gun.
Yeah. Oh, I think
Doesn't
honestly,
have to do it all necessarily either. But
true, because I do have other guns to do stuff with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the upland gun one, just because I have other guns, like, so it's not like that would be kind of just a fun gun, I think, just to generally hunt with, because like all the things that I hunt can logistically be taken with a 16 gauge.
Okay.
Like everything I hunt can, I mean, I use a 12 gauge because it's easier and it's cheaper. You know, the ammo's cheaper and stuff like that. 16 gauges, I mean, like it'd probably turn into.
You got to find the ammo.
True. But like, I think it'd be more of like a gun I'm gonna take on like certain hunts, you know?
Okay.
Like it'd be more. It's not gonna be my general purpose gun. It's
Got
just like the gun that I take out on, like, you know, when we go to Montana or something like that. That'd be cool.
You bring that.
You know.
I like it.
That kind of. You know, because I have general purpose guns and they're, you know, and I like them and they're great and stuff like that. But there's something to be said with like having like more, maybe not bird specific, but like kind of bird specific shotguns, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you know, quail season, you know, a 20 gauge or 28 gauge is perfect for quail season, you know?
True.
You know, and then like, you know, grouse.
You could shoot a pheasant with a 28 gauge. Use it to be a really good shot.
Exactly. Well, or just shoot, you know, TSS or whatever like that. You'll be fine.
Well, yeah, it's true. You're only shooting like what, 100 pellets versus like 190 or something. So
yeah, I mean, you get the number 9 TSS pellets and you're shooting like,
there you go.
And you're basically, it's just like a buzzsaw of death, basically, regardless of what gauge you shoot.
True.
You know, so there's ways around it, but I mean, in all honesty, 12 gauge is probably I can't really pick up.
It always comes back to that, doesn't it?
It really does.
I've been looking at a lot of guns lately. So you're going with your Upland Gun Company gun that you've been designing, the 29-inch 16 gauge.
Probably.
What about the engraving on that? Do you have engraving you're thinking of for that? Nope.
If they had an option to not have it engraved, period, I would have it not engraved.
Interesting.
I'm not an engraved guy. Like, I'm good with like good wood and stuff like that, like nice bluing, good wood and stuff like that. But like the engraving, that's just not my thing. Tastefully done, it's fine, but it's never. But then also a lot of my guns are more utilitarian. I mean, granted, I mean, my main gun is a Remington 870 12 gauge synthetic.
Yeah.
About as damn near utilitarian as you can get. So
that really is.
You know.
Okay. So like pumps though, like I grew up, my dad still has a 870 Wingmaster from I think the 80s, and it was a beautiful gun. I've always kind of pined after that gun. Just the looks of it are great. And my grandpa would hunt. I have this gun now, but it's a Winchester Model 12, which I don't think is visually as appealing as the Wingmaster, but still there's something about that with the blued metal and the dark wood. It just, there's something that's, to me at least, and probably it's because maybe there's more to it than just me, but that's what I saw them hunt with. So to me, it's like, that's upland hunting.
True.
But that wouldn't be my dream gun. It's my aforementioned problems with pumps and semi-autos. Those are all out. Double guns, I really only want over-under, so I'm down to the over-under. Gauge, I'll probably do a 12 gauge. We talked about, I like 20 gauges a lot, but I don't know. Something about 12 gauge if I'm picking one gun.
It's the practicality part of it.
It is. I like the Satoris a lot. Those would be on top of the list. It would probably be, if I was one, it would probably be the CXS, or maybe the Field, which does have some engraving. It has a weird forend.
With the
schnabel.
Schnabel.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the way it looks. I like the way, to me, the Satori, especially when you get one that is blued on the action, it in my brain it hits the same cylinders that my dad's 870 Wingmaster hits. It has the same. Even though it's an over-under versus a pump, some of those same lines and feelings get hit for me. So like I'm really attracted to those. They have that. They're deeper in the action there, so they just like almost like a pump kind of, and it just hits those same things for me. So I like those a lot. That would be near the top of the list. It may be, I don't even know what my number one is. I'm just kind of talking through it. I also really like round bodies.
Like the Rizzini?
I like the Rizzini round body a lot. That's where I was going. I like the engravings intricate, but not just like a game scene. I think game scenes are kind of overdone, and you usually have to be really well done to look good. Like if they're just like laser engraved and like there's no like nothing deep to it or no dimension, it's usually pretty boring. But the Rizzini round body, if you haven't seen that, like Google that.
Oh, yeah.
The engraving on it is really cool. I would have a hard time saying no to that gun as much as I would want the Satori. I'm trying to think if money is not a factor, because that Rizzini is significantly more expensive than the Satori. So I should probably take that and then go buy the Satori. But oh man, I think if I'm just carrying around the field all the time, I'm probably, and taking money out of it, I'm probably going to get one of the Satoris, and probably the CXS. I think it has, I don't think it's a blued receiver. I prefer the blued receiver, black or whatever they're doing now. But it doesn't have any engraving. It just says Satori CXS on the bottom, and then gold. The gold triggers there. I like all of that. That's probably where I'd go. And that Rizzini round body would be a very, very close second. And I would probably, no matter which one I picked, I would probably be kicking myself for not taking the other one, no matter what.
No, there's always, like, you'd always have that kind of like want for the other one, you know, just because.
Yeah.
Always
the other one I like a lot, and it's not 12 gauge, that I would be considered getting, is the Connecticut Shotgun Manufacturing Company's Revelation.
Yep, they have some beautiful shotguns.
They do. They have they have some really cool stuff. I think the Revelation only comes in 20 gauge. It's there's a few different options you can get, but it really doesn't change the gun that much. I think it's like 26 or 28 inch barrels. I don't think it's 28-30. Maybe it's 28-30. I can't remember now. And then you can get like the straight stock or the pistol grip. But the wood's really nice on it. I can't tell. I haven't seen one in person, but because you don't see those around anywhere. But I can't tell from pictures online if the barrel is like, it's not Cerakote, but it's something similar going on there. If it's like I'm not sure what the coating is on the metal on the barrel. Aesthetically, it may throw me off if we have like two different coatings in that gun, but it's a round body also, and I think those look really nice. That maybe be somewhere in the list, but definitely not in the top.
Yeah. There's a lot of guns like that just be fun to dink around with and play with. Like I've always loved the like the Remington 870 or the 1100 Special Fields. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
The ones with the straight grip stock and the short barrels.
Yep.
I've always wanted to play with one of those just because they just, I don't know, something about the 870s, and it's probably like you said earlier, like it's what you kind of grew up with. You grew up with over and under.
Yep.
Always that part of it, and like the 870 was like my first real shotgun, besides a single shot. And the 870, so the 870 to me has always been a shotgun. So it's like that's just what I'm drawn to. Like I don't know, something about them. I think that's why most of the guns I have are Remingtons. Like I have a 48.
You do, yeah.
The Remington 48 I rebuilt. I mean, like that's, am I looking for a Remington 58? Yeah. An 1100, 1187. Yeah, I'll get one of those too. An 870. Yep. I mean, ideally, I'd probably have a collection of all the Remingtons that they came out with that share the same receiver. 70.
It's too bad that Remington is a company or manufacturer is in the state it's in now. It's been bought and sold so many times. I'm not sure buying a new one makes any sense, but a lot of the ones
the new ones are
in the 80s, The new ones are good. Is that true?
The new ones are good. The ones, because I have one. If you want to go down this rabbit hole, we can go down the gun rabbit.
Let's go down. Well, we're already in the gun rabbit hole.
That's true. When Remington was bought by Freedom Group, so this would have been early 2000s. That's when their stuff kind of tanked. I have a couple 870s from that era. My actual main one is from that era.
I had that same one for a little bit.
Yeah. And same, so that one's like the problem era one. I don't have any issues with it. I've replaced some stuff on it, but that's because I replaced things because I wanted to replace them, not because I really needed it. The new ones, if you haven't picked up one of the new ones, the new Remarm ones from this year, I think they just got brought.
I haven't. No.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it just to, if nothing else, just to pick one up and feel it. They've changed a lot of stuff on them. They're not the Expresses. They're more expensive. They're kind of like, I would say, more of an in-between Express and Wingmaster. Their wood's a little better. They all come with better recoil pads than before, than that plastic hard thing that they used to put on them. They all have better bluing. They seem to be just better. Maybe I'm optimistic in the new ones. I'd like to see. I haven't seen one of the new Wingmasters. I'm really intrigued about seeing a Wingmaster. If I see a Wingmaster, and I can, I'll probably buy a 12 gauge Wingmaster.
Oh, that would be great. I wouldn't blame you at all. Beautiful guns.
Yes, there's something about the lines and stuff like that. They did it right.
What's the Field Master they have now? I saw that. Is that like a lower quality Wingmaster?
Yeah, basically it's like instead of the Express, they don't do the Express anymore. They just do the Field Master, which is like, so I think there's a higher end Express, lower end Wingmaster. I guess is better checkering, better wood, better grips, or better recoil pads. They all come with sling swivel studs front and rear, and then I think they come with like 3 chokes now.
Oh wow, okay.
And I think they're all drilled and tapped. And I think the synthetic ones actually come with like either a shim set or like a you can adjust the comb height on them. So
wow, okay, wow,
yeah. If you see one, check it out.
I think there's some over at Sportsman's. I think I've seen some of those there. I haven't picked one up because I was so turned off by Remington in the 2000s. I'm like, never again. As like my heart's in it, because that's what I was seeing my dad carry around. I think he recently bought a used. I think it was an 1100. Might have been 1187, but
no, it was 1100 because you sent me that picture first.
I sent to you, yeah. I was like, hey, my dad saw this,
I could buy it,
and he was like, and I texted back, hey, Jared, I'd be interested. He was like, I already bought it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it matches his 870. They look really cool together.
Yeah.
So I like that. But yeah. Yeah, we could talk about guns for a while. Yeah, I'll have to check one of those out. I'm so like turned off by having to deal with anything with my guns. Like sometimes my chokes and overrunner get stuck because I've left them in forever. That I'm just like, this is stupid. Like whenever I want get new overrunners, I'm like, can I get it in fixed chokes? Like I'm never gonna change them.
Just cylinder modified.
Yep. That's all I want to do. Like I don't want something for me to screw up. Can I just get the fixed choke?
That's true. Yeah. Gotta go the old shotguns then. You just gotta go buy old shotguns.
Yeah. Well, I did notice Upland Gun Company gives that option. Every time I go through that builder, I always click, fixed chokes.
Well, it's actually
options.
Cheaper.
It's cheaper.
So your $3,500 gun is only $3,000.
That's right.
So
saving money. I don't have to deal with chokes. I really can't complain.
It's like girl math, but guy math. It's fine.
Yeah, gun math.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Jared. Well, thanks for chatting again. And is there anything else you want to talk about this week?
No, just getting excited for hunting season.
I know, right? We're really close. We're really close. We're almost there. We'll be out in the fields again finally, and then it'll be over again before we know it. But let's not try to think about that.
That's true. But I mean, technically, it goes from December 1st to the end of January. So I mean, depending on how hard.
End of January is true. That's true. Because checker goes to end of January, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's when I get my pretend checker hunting in. After everything else closes.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a good week and happy hunting season soon.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Go Flush Yourself podcast. Check us out on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and X. We also have a Patreon, where for a $2 a month subscription, you can help keep our podcast on the air. We also have merchandise available. Please check out the podcast description or the Patreon page for links to merchandise.